WNEM-TV5 News at 10 on My 5. Accept no substitute.
Welcome back to our second half hour of WNEM-TV5 News at 10 on My 5.
Thanks for tuning in on your TV, mobile device, or desktop. Here's a look at some of the top stories we are following tonight. The high school football season just got started, and already there's controversy. Bay City Central was forced to forfeit its win against Swartz Creek last week because a player on the team is considered ineligible. The senior transferred from Midland High, but Central never filed his transfer form with the Michigan High School Athletic Association. He must also sit out this week's game when Central hosts his former team. President
Obama now has enough support in the Senate to block a Republican vote disapproving the nuclear deal with Iran. At least 34 senators are supporting the measure, enough to sustain a veto. Republicans are nearly united in opposing it amid fears it's not strong enough and would eventually let Iran build a nuclear bomb.
We want to update you now on that breaking news that was coming into the continuous news center. We're learning more about the accident involving a police officer in Saginaw Township.
Let's take it right out to the scene where TV5's Andrew Keller is standing by. Drew.
In the last half an hour or so, we've been able to gather a lot more information about this officer being hit on McCarty Road. Of course, we are right now, this is a corner of McCarty and Maple Woods Road in Saginaw Township. And just a couple minutes ago, I got off the phone with the Saginaw Township Police Chief Donald Purcell, who is actually at the hospital with the officer who was hit. He said that officer is undergoing some tests, but he should be okay. He suffered some back and hip injuries. Now, what happened? This is an odd story. What happened is this officer, the Saginaw Township officer, was actually blocking traffic for a fire that happened about a quarter of a mile away from here when a vehicle struck him. The officer went onto the hood of the vehicle, rolled off, and that's when he was, the ambulances 911 were called, and he was rushed to the hospital. Now, again, breaking tonight, this officer is expected to be okay. He is undergoing some tests for being hit by a vehicle, an officer-involved accident, but the good news, of course, is he is expected to be okay, and that's coming from Chief Donald Purcell's mouth, the Saginaw Township Police Chief. Live in Saginaw Township, I'm Andrew Keller, WNEM-TV5 News at 10 on My 5.
All right, Drew, thank you for that, and of course, we'll have more information on this tonight on TV5 News at 11. Developing tonight, police are trying to piece together what happened after a man was killed while riding his bike.
It happened late last night in Davison Township. Police say a driver hit the 28-year-old. He later died at the hospital.
TV5's James Felton reports.
It's always real sad to hear. Unfortunately, it happens all too often, and especially night riding.
Broken glass, a busted side mirror, and orange markings. Reminders of a tragic scene that played out just before 11 last night. 28-year-old Byron Arnold losing his life after being hit by a car while riding a bike. It all happened on East Court Street in the Genesee County community of Davison Township. Police say he wasn't wearing reflective clothing, a big no-no according to Al Comstock.
And you should have headlight, taillight of some sort.
Comstock has been in the bike business for 25 years. He owns Al's Quick Release Bicycle. He shared his thoughts on how you can be safer on your two-wheeler at night.
A helmet, number one. I'm a big believer in helmets. I'm here today because I wore my helmet. Had a bad accident, cracked the helmet, but I was okay.
Comstock says you should also have reflectors at the front and back of the bike. Reflective clothing is a must. He also suggests having a rear view mirror to watch for oncoming traffic. Many people we talk to say they don't use these safety measures. But after learning of Arnold's death, that will change.
I will now that I've actually thought about it.
I heard about the accident, and yeah, especially for me and my daughter.
I don't ride my bike at night, but if I did, definitely. Hearing about that, I would.
Meanwhile, Comstock is glad to hear more riders will make the effort to be safer, wanting them all to finish their bike trip safely.
Make the investment. I mean, it's definitely worth it if you're going to ride, especially at night.
Across Michigan tonight, a Wayne County teen announced she was pregnant with triplets, but more than 9 months later, still no babies, and people got suspicious. Turns out the 16-year-old faked it for 10 months using this website, fakeababy.com. The girl's boyfriend and his family were prepared for the babies. Relatives even threw a baby shower for the expectant mother, who had already named them Ivan, Elise, and Isabella. When the due date came, the teen claimed she lost the babies but refused to go to a doctor. The truth was revealed when police were called to investigate. It was nothing but a hoax.
I don't think anybody should have to go through that and all of this over a website called fakeababy.com.
The website needs to be off the air. It needs to be out. Because if she can do it that easy, anybody else can.
The teen's family says all of the donations she's received from support groups are being returned. The incident remains under investigation.
New tonight, a local VFW post is honoring World War II veterans and their families. Today is known as VJ Day, the day Japan signed the surrender document in 1945, officially ending World War II. Post 9809 in Saginaw held the 70th anniversary celebration this evening to honor those lost in the war.
Well, I think that was a hard-fought battle. We lost a lot of good men, and, you know, all the heroes are still over there.
More than 100,000 Americans were killed in World War II.
More local news. A Mid-Michigan credit union is helping police take a bite out of crime. Financial Plus donated $1,000 to the city of Saginaw today. The money will be used to help train and purchase a crime-fighting canine for the police department.
This will give us 24 hours a day coverage, 7 days a week, having 4 dogs. So it's going to, in our eyes, be very beneficial to the community because we use our dogs for a lot of different things. We're constantly busy, and the dogs help us do our work faster and better.
Police say the dogs are helpful in tracking down people and sniffing out drugs.
A local woman has a brand new smile thanks to the generosity of a complete stranger. A few weeks ago, a woman who only wanted to be identified as Ann was in the Aspen Dental office in Bay City waiting to get a couple of fillings. Well, she overheard Alma Moore talking to the staff about what she needed, but unfortunately, she couldn't afford it. So Ann went to the manager and said she wanted to pay for Alma's dental work, all $4,500 of it. Needless to say, everyone was shocked.
It was like overwhelming. I hugged her and she smiled and she was so calm. She said, "It is no problem." I said, "Thank you so much."
We're in this world for the good, and anytime you can help another human being, just step forward and do it.
Today, Alma got the work done free of charge. Earlier, we asked our Facebook friends if they've paid it forward in the past. Well, Cindy writes, "I try to do nice things for people. I can't always pay for things, but I try in other ways." And Patty says she bought flowers for a cashier after she talked about how much she liked the ones I was buying. You can always join the conversation too. Just weigh in on our Facebook page or tweet us using the hashtag #FastFeedback.
In dollars and cents tonight, Americans traveling this Labor Day weekend are expected to spend an average of $380 while on vacation. That's according to the U.S. Travel Association. AAA projects more than 1.2 million Michiganders, that is, will take to the roads and skies over the holiday, the most since 2008.
Consumer Reports names its worst cars of 2015. The Chrysler 200 is rated the worst among mid-sized cars due to clumsy handling and its lackluster 4-cylinder engine. And in the luxury department, the Land Rover Discovery Sport made the bottom of the list for its poor handling. The Lexus NX 200T/300H also got low marks for a bumpy drive.
A TV villain is now being hailed a hero. And does Kermit the Frog have a new lady pig in his life?
Say it isn't so. The latest headlines and entertainment coming up in your Hollywood Minute.
CMU's football team makes its final preparations for tomorrow's season opener. The story coming up in sports.
And for the latest in breaking news and trending videos, remember to check out our My5 News website. You can find it by clicking on the News tab on WNEM.com.